have come from somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of The Local Show, our first show of the new year. You guys, Happy New Year and Healthy New Year. Even more importantly, when we got our health, we've got our wealth. And on that note, I'm so excited to bring a first-time guest to the show. He's actually appeared as a guest of a guest in the past. It's Ed Troy. Welcome back to the show, Ed.
Hey, Erik, good to see you,
good
man.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Long time no see, and Happy New Year. Yeah.
Well, Happy New Year to you and two of your clients. We've got Lynn Bowen
Hello.
and Garry Schalla.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show, Lynn and Garry. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
And we're going to get to know you guys today, too, as well. Wanted to first start, though, Ed, you had been on the show with Greg Castile, the world's oldest pro bull rider.
Yes.
Actually, at my age, at 58. And Greg is one of your kind of more, well-known or famous clients that you train.
He's done exceptionally well. I mean, all things considered, most people that are in that line of work are done probably by age 25.
Right.
If they're lucky and if they are world class, and they might make it to, like, say, 30, 32 or so. But I don't really hear anyone over age 30 in any of the PBR stuff.
That sounds like similar to an NFL player. They usually have a career into their 20s, maybe into their 30s, unless your name happens to be Tom and your last name is Brady.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You might be in your 40s.
It's extremely difficult.
So pro bull riding is probably the most brutal sport on the planet. You've been training Greg, and we had you guys on the show last summer. So I want to welcome you back, and we want to talk about Lynn and Garry's experience with you. But first, I kind of wanted to get allow the viewers to get to know you and kind of where you were born and raised and your roots. Where are you from originally?
Born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Lucky
the epicenter of health and wellness
right.
in the United States, right?
And culture, too. Right. Fortunately.
Really clean diets and really healthy.
Absolutely. We love the river there.
It
keeps you warm at night when it gets torched.
Oh,
the Cuyahoga River did catch fire 3 times.
Okay, that's the one, huh?
Yeah, I think it was the first
because it's not
river
exactly
in the world.
Clean and pristine.
Oh, no.
The opposite.
No, it would be an interesting, laboratory analysis of the chemical composition of what may include water.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, like is there any water left
in
that river?
I don't know.
A little bit toxic there.
It's about at the time it was about as bad as it came. It was considered the world's most polluted river at that time.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So how long did you last kind of in that kind of an environment?
Well, I was born there in 58.
Okay.
And I was extremely fascinated by the front page photo in the Cleveland Press, an afternoon newspaper that I carried back in those days when they had afternoon newspapers.
Oh, wow.
Or newspapers of any kind.
Were you a newspaper boy?
I was.
Delivered it?
Yes, I delivered it.
I did that too when I was a kid. The Milwaukee Sentinel. I was a kid that threw it from the bike. Of course, I'd end up...
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. I had to put it in the mailbox or put it in the screen door or fold it carefully and put it through the handle.
Wow.
As asked for by the subscribers to the Cleveland Press.
Okay. Well, I just had to get it close.
Very specific. No, I didn't have to be close. It had to be exact, or else I would get complaints.
Okay.
And I would hear about them probably every Monday morning.
Well, that's interesting in that you kind of developed a work ethic early on in life. You were working as a kid.
Yes.
Doing that.
Absolutely.
And then you would go, you would be in that area through high school then? Or how did that kind of play out?
Left actually in 8th grade.
Okay.
But I guess some of the things that really influenced me were my parents having season tickets to see the Cleveland Browns play. And so I had the privilege of seeing the great Jim Brown running back play for the Browns. And the Browns winning, I believe, the title game before the Super Bowl in either 63 or 4.
Okay.
Maybe 65.
So
no, actually 64, 65.
Some greatness
I have to look.
there.
Yeah.
Some greatness.
It was incredible. And that guy was seen as like an athletic marvel to the world in a way that also Wilt Chamberlain and the Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano, those guys were seen as, in an echelon that was far above any other human beings on the planet at that time.
Right.
And maybe, a couple generations before, you could take a look at somebody like Jesse Owens or maybe one of the decathlon champions, but those guys didn't get a whole lot of press.
Right.
Although Jesse Owens did,
Yeah.
just because of the 36 Olympics.
That's interesting. What an interesting era to grow up. And I grew up kind of in the 60s as well. And then later in the 70s, you'd have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and so many other Oscar Robertson and so many others.
The Big O was out. He played for the Cincinnati Royals. And my father actually took my brother and I, 1 year younger than me, we didn't have any other siblings at the time, to see the Cincinnati Royals play in Cincinnati.
Interesting.
To see the Big O play. So I saw Oscar Robertson play too.
Wow. How exciting.
That was pretty cool.
So that was kind of your first influence with these really great, epic athletes, all time performers and
all time.
So were you inspired? Were you athletic at that point in your life?
Yeah, I was inspired, I think, like most kids at that time, because you didn't have any digital distractions, and television was kind of new.
Right.
It was, black and white. You looked at some screen that was, maybe 10, 15 inches across, and you're like, okay.
3 channels.
Yeah, 3 channels.
ABC, NBC, and CBS were the 3.
Yes, that was
the
it. There
3
weren't
big
900 channels,
Right.
and your parents told you, okay, get out, leave, and just make sure you come back before the street lights come on.
Right.
Those are the only rules. We do not want to see you.
Back by dark kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of how I grew up too.
Yeah, and make sure you feed the dog when you do. Get back.
Right.
Done.
Okay.
So, yeah, so at the same time, I was extremely interested in some of the, in science and things of that sort. And so when I later on became a personal trainer, I started examining some of the scientific reasons for training in a particular way, as well as the actual exercise modalities or specific exercises. And so combining those two things, allowed me to create a system that I feel like works pretty effectively across a wide spectrum of athletics and sports, as well as general conditioning.
Okay.
Now, I'm 61 years old, and I just found out recently it's pretty hard to compete against a 30-year-old that's, in really good shape. I'll dig in, but, it's tough.
Right. We all have limitations, right?
Yes.
There's reasonable expectations, and there's still extraordinary results, though, and we want to talk about that. A man in your 60s, and also the focus on vegan, being a vegan, a strong vegan athlete. Not just vegan, but strong, athletic, and able to share that with other people. And that's actually a perfect time to take a break. We're going to take our one break of the show, rehydrate for some really heavy conversation, start to bring Lynn and Garry into the show and your experience with Ed as your trainer. And again, combining diet and exercise those are kind of the 2 pillars, that we've kind of known about when we grew up. It was always about diet and exercise. But do people really employ a clean and healthy diet, and do they really exercise, effectively and regularly? So we're going to get into some of those details, but I do want to thank StrongVeganAthlete for supporting our show this winter, Aspen Animal Hospital, the Aspen Square, the Aspen Times, Klug Properties, Sundog Athletics. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes. We've got Ed Troy, we've got Garry Schalla, and Lynn Bowen on the show here today, and we're going to talk about being a vegan and a strong athlete, and just all around health and wellness, and some tips, that will help all you guys out there. So don't go away.
Aspen Times, telling the stories that matter since 1881, is committed to local prep sports, arts, and entertainment coverage. They also offer the drop-in weekly recreational videos highlighting why we love to live in this community. The Aspen Times at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Aspen Animal Hospital offers state-of-the-art services, including non-pharmaceutical options, acupuncture, exotic pet care, and companion care preventative plans. For more information on veterinary services and their foundation, which helps those in need, call 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Curbside recycling is now included with your trash service in Pitkin County. You can reduce your waste footprint and shrink your trash bill by recycling right. Learn more at landfillrules.com.
Celebrating another great winter season, Aspen Square Hotel is the hospitality place, featuring fireplace studio suites and larger condominiums with full hotel-style services in the center of downtown Aspen. Aspen Square is proud to support the Locals Show. The Aspen Thrift Shop welcomes local women to volunteer, serve our community, meet interesting local women, and join the fun at Aspen Thrift Shop twice a month. You can apply at aspenthriftshop.org.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Our first show of 2020, entering our 17th year of broadcasting here on Grassroots Community Network. We want to also welcome our Facebook and YouTube audience. We've got Ed Troy in the house, Strong Vegan Athlete, and your website, strongveganathlete.com. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
For details. And you kind of combine, as we went into break, I kind of teased the fact that you combine not only like working out, like go to the gym and lift weights and kind of traditional things we think about, and even more dynamic exercise, but also the vegan or vegetarianism. First of all, let's start with what's the difference between being a vegan and a vegetarian? Or is it about the same thing?
Well, no, they're definitely different, and there's also a difference between vegan and plant-based.
Okay.
Whereas veganism is more ethically bound and confined, so you're more concerned about the animals. So you wouldn't go out and buy a piece of leather. You wouldn't go out and I mean, you know, any or fur or anything of that sort. You wouldn't go out and buy a leather belt. And some of those people will actually dispense with any of that stuff and get rid of it. Plant-based refers to the idea of having a diet, and so they only eat plant-based foods.
Okay.
And then vegetarianism has several different categories there. So you can be an ovo, you know, which would be egg. You would be consuming eggs. Lacto would include dairy products, and pescatarian would be kind of like being a vegan, but you would eat fish at times.
Okay.
And then you can have various permutations and cross-pollinations from those categories there. So you can have an ovo-lacto vegetarian, for instance.
And what are you? What's your kind of genre?
I'm plant-based. I have no intention of ever buying any more leather or animal-based products in my life. I mean, I could accidentally get something or touch something, but I'm not going to
give you a gift of whatever it would be.
Well, I would tell them, look,
code or
no, somebody sent me something like that. No, I would tell them no.
First of all, your good friends already know about that. So
I hope they do.
So you're vegan. You're basically vegan.
I'm pretty much, yes.
It's not just diet. It's also moral and ethical choices.
Yes, it is. There's environmental reasons, regarding carbon footprint that's critical importance and should be recognized by people who follow and understand and accept scientific principles, the scientific method. Simple things like observation. Wow, I can look outside. The sky appears to be blue. That shouldn't be an opinion-based discussion.
Right.
You should. Now, if you're colorblind, I could understand you might have an opinion about what it is. However, if you're not, you should recognize the sky in the daytime in the absence of clouds is blue.
Unless you see the world through rose-colored lenses, then there might be a little controversy.
There
but that's always with those kind of people.
Yes, there could be a controversy on that one. And, I'll just say, bless their little hearts.
Now, give a description on how you work with Lynn and then Garry. Are they, similar programs, or is the customization really a part of what you do?
Well, Lynn has been a very long-term vegetarian, and mostly pescatarian, with some, I suspect, ovo and lacto here and there.
Okay.
But
a little bit of eggs,
but
a little bit of dairy.
very suppressed.
Yeah, I don't eat fish.
Okay. Well, thank
it's
you.
a vegetarian, and I'm 90% vegan.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'll have an egg or a piece of cheese. Usually, when I go to a restaurant and it's in the dish, and I'm like, okay.
Right.
But
right.
and I've been a vegetarian for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so for 30 years. So a lot of
Okay.
people ask me, well, how do you get your protein? How are you
Right,
doing
right.
this?
That's always the thing.
And
right?
I'm like, do I look like I'm protein deficient? You just really don't need to worry about it. Worry about other things, but getting your protein, you'll get it. As a vegetarian, you'll get your protein.
Right, because the plants, just if you're eating like super greens and basic things that we know about, you're getting enough protein,
Oh yeah,
correct?
yeah, that's correct.
And the
yeah.
animals get their protein from vegetables
from
and
plants. Yeah.
from where they're grazing, right? It's like
Absolutely.
a cow is whether they're sourcing from corn or free-ranging grass. I mean, they're eating plants. They're plant-based
Yes, they
diets.
are. They just simply reassemble plant amino acids into animal composed or structured protein profiles, if you will.
Okay.
And so that's what we do too. So if we eat an animal or a plant, we still have to reassemble through digestion those amino acids to turn that into human muscle, bone, tissue, and whatever else.
Okay.
And we don't have deficiencies, like, oh, we do B12 deficient. Lynn has a brilliant brain. Garry has a brilliant brain. I don't know about mine, but I'm trying to get there.
Well, there are genetics involved.
I know.
A few other factors,
Mom and Dad,
Like,
why'd
if
you forsake me?
Yeah, if you only went to first, second, and third grade, that might matter too.
Hey, I made it to fourth grade. I want you to know.
And Garry, how would you kind of describe your diet? And has it been that way for a while, or did it change under Ed's guidance?
I'm learning, so I'm fairly
Okay.
new into this.
Okay.
I'm really not only looking at the diet part, but I'm really looking at the exercise part.
Right.
I think as we get older and jobs are more sedimentary, we talked about not going out as much, and so I really come from a place where I made a conscious decision late last year that I really wanted to change that, and to find someone who has a really good ethic background and who's really willing to teach. And I think that what's really important is that we want to be healthy at whatever age, but we want to do it with someone who is supportive and understands the same things that we're going through. So to train with someone that's 30 would be great, but I don't want to try to keep up anymore. And there's different things that your body's going through. So to have someone who is an athlete and who has experienced these things and is the same basic age, it really helps to make that workout smooth and adjusting. And we can go hard some days, we can go, cut back other days, but really listen to our bodies, and that's something that Ed's really been great at in establishing those back and forth so that we're getting the best workout that we can get.
So are you transitioning into kind of a vegetarian in terms of the diet part?
Or
how do you describe your eating?
I'm into 3-bean soup.
Okay.
I'm into greens. I feel like a rabbit. No, I think it's just really a great. If I'm going to make this transition, it was a great way to have that conversation with Ed about. I may not be vegan, and I'm always going to be a pest, but not a pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
There it is. So
That's
I think
a big fish tail.
I think that one of the things for me is to get a better diet, and I may not be vegan, I may not be just plant-based, but to make that change in my life so that when I do have a piece of fish or a piece of meat, if I choose to do so, it's smaller portions.
Right.
It's maybe organic, or it's cooked better. Where what I'm putting in my body is really going to react positively with my body and propel me forward, rather than just adding another layer to my belt loop, which is leather. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go home and take off my belt. Yeah.
So as Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine." And we are what we eat, which is even a more common, expression. And it's true, Ed. And I want to get more into the kind of the diet, but also the exercise side of the equation. But first, I think there's a great video we could show the viewers.
Oh, sure.
In fact, I know there is.
Oh, well,
And this is
I'm all
this
in.
also shows your athleticism. You're an award-winning athlete in your age group at now 60 plus in track and
Yes.
field in particular.
Yes.
And let's just show the video, and actually you can describe what we're seeing here.
Okay.
I see a beautiful single track.
Yeah, well, that
I'm a
was
mountain
that was a trail in going up Mount Huron. Yes, that was up Mount Huron, and this is at the summit of Mount Huron. Yep, indeed, Mount Huron. That's one of the 14ers.
Okay.
So I like to do a lot of different stuff. This is Mount Princeton, the summit there, another 14er. All right. And that's with the great Garry Shaw, or excuse me, Brian Shaw, the world's strongest man, winner for 4 times in a row. His athletic weight is 440 pounds.
Wow.
Um,
He's
yeah.
vegan, correct?
No, he eats maybe the dinner table here.
Okay.
That's a 315-pound deadlift.
Wow. And this is you doing your thing here. doing
Yeah,
some
these are
training.
lateral plyometric jumps. And this is one of my memes. And that's throwing the discus, I believe, in the Florida Games. This is self-defense, high jumping. That was a gold medal effort in the Rocky Mountain State Games.
Wow.
And that's with my friend Sandy, who is,
Jeez, look at that stack.
yeah, that was pretty high. I was advised to never throw a javelin in winter again.
Were you throwing that at a snowshoe hare? There goes that
Well, that
hare.
would have been vegan. And this is like the stuff I have in my car, skis and shot puts and, javelin tube there, ski downhill helmet, I mean, just all kinds of equipment I keep in there.
Like the buffet of athleticism there. So indoor, outdoor.
Yeah,
all these different
I never
activities.
let my wife in the car because what is this?
Wait a minute. You said you weren't going to buy that new discus.
Yes, exactly.
Wait a minute. And there's new skis in there too?
How dare you?
So what was the meme? The only failure? I couldn't read that.
Is
whole thing.
the failure to try?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
let's at least try.
yes, if you
Give it our
are,
best
if you,
effort.
the moment you walk out the door and you have your running shoes on, or maybe in some cases just some walking shoes, you start becoming an athlete at that point in time because there is an objective and it's health oriented. And when someone starts thinking in those terms, you know what? I'm being an athlete here. I have to manage where my feet go. I don't want to trip over sidewalk cracks, or the dog that's running loose, or trip over a leash that, I mean, or a cyclist, going by you, and you don't want to get hit by a bus. Those are athletic things you have to do to avoid injury or maybe even death in the case of the bus.
Right. Just
And-
day to day.
Yes, and
type
so I
occurrences.
train people to be consciously aware of the situation that they're in, and so that they can literally be in life, in whatever decade of life that they're in.
Okay.
And I think that's critically important. It's almost like a philosophical approach as opposed to a didactic one, where I tell people you got to do this, and I don't give them a reason. And it's beyond because I said so kind of thing. I want people to be aware of themselves while they're engaged and present in their exercise, whatever it is. So when I'm teaching Lynn, kicks and strikes for self-defense, or lifting, or I have Garry doing various types of jumps and movements.
Okay.
Those are kind of, they've been brought down from extreme competitive abilities to more practical utilitarian things, so that Garry and Lynn can go out and do things in life and have reasonable expectation of being able to do them safely,
Right.
and for themselves as well as for others, and enhance their health. Competition is not always healthy
Right.
for the competitor.
Because it's
You-
extreme. It's
Yes,
really
and-
pushing as hard as you can.
Yes, you and I have both been competitors. We both know this, like, oh man, I'm pushing the edge here. Whoa, you got to be careful, and and most people on the planet do not need to do that.
Right.
And so when you tune things down from throwing a shot put to, and you start thinking, well, maybe the person's just going to sling their luggage into the back of the car.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or,
the practical day-to-day.
Yes,
things
that you know, grabbing the bag of groceries.
Right.
You know, you don't have to feel like I'm going to throw the discus, 200 feet or something. You don't need to be thinking in those terms. What you do need to be thinking about negotiating, walking around tables and people in restaurants and people that are, intoxicated, stumbling in front of you. I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, just the things that we need to do day to day in our practical lives and do it safely, right, Lynn? So you're in your own words, how do you feel more equipped, like for these day-to-day challenges? Whether it's lifting a bag of groceries, or you hear people getting injured, putting a coffee cup onto the cupboard.
Right.
I mean, just crazy stuff. But
yeah, well, one of the things I like working out with Ed, because he really looks at the whole body. In other words, strength and balance and movement in all planes in all directions.
Okay.
And perseverance. And when I work out with Ed, I know that I'm not going to overexert myself or hurt myself, because he's watching my form, and he'll go, okay, that's it. As soon as I start breaking my form, and as soon as I start doing something wrong. And I'll give you a great example. I was doing the rowing machine, and Ed wanted me to get my heart rate up to a certain amount. No matter what I did, or I just couldn't do it. And he said, Lynn, lean forward more and put your legs into it, and when you pull back to here. And like within 5 seconds, that rate just went right up. And I'm like, that's why you need a personal trainer. I never would have figured that out. But just him being able to look at what I was doing and tell me how to do it better.
Right.
Yeah.
And Garry, a little bit about your experience as you're kind of combining now diet and exercise, and how's that kind of helped you, day to day, with your day-to-day life?
I think it makes you much more sharper in the morning and throughout the day. I'm sleeping much better. Okay. And I think that really being equipped I do hope to compete again. So to work
What do you compete in?
I was a swimmer for many years, but I also bike and I ski. So, I'd love to be more competitive in my life. And I think that, but to do it correctly, just to go and bust through a gym or get on the machines or that's one of the things that I really appreciate as well, is that it's all about form. It's all about keeping, lines straight and equal, and so that when you are working out, you're getting the highest workout you can, and you're also getting the best benefit for it, not only short term but long term. Okay. And that's really important for me as an athlete, to have that second set of eyes saying, oh, that's really good. Oh, wait, no. We're going to start that over again. Do this, do that, move this way. And it just is really, it's a nice, secure feeling, I think, to have that presence there.
So safely and effectively as possible. And did you guys have fun on the show? We're already out of time. I can't believe it went like that.
I know.
Did you guys have fun on the show today?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Erik,
for joining
always
me.
great to see you. And the next time I do a snowshoe race, I'm going to get your snowshoes again.
You got it, man. I got a party gift for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me this week. Thank you guys for joining us
so much
on The Local Show.
Erik.
Aspen Times, telling the stories that matter since 1881, is committed to local prep sports, arts, and entertainment coverage. They also offer The Drop-In, weekly recreational videos highlighting why we love to live in this community. The Aspen Times at local newsstands, aspentimes.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Strong Vegan Athlete offers wellness consulting, personal training, and online training. Owner and trainer Ed Troy focuses on safety, balance-oriented agility, and mobility for optimum wellness and to be in life. More at strongveganathlete.com.
Aspen Animal Hospital offers state-of-the-art services, including non-pharmaceutical options, acupuncture, exotic pet care, and companion care preventative plans. For more information on veterinary services and their foundation, which helps those in need, call 925-2611 or aspenanimalhospital.com.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience one-of-a-kind adventures and gain new skills, to experience the thrills of snowshoeing, fat biking, cross-country skiing, alpine touring, canoeing, mountain and road biking, and fitness hiking. Fresh updates at Sundog Athletics on Facebook or sundogathletics.com.
Welcome to the